very, very wrong. So, Dr. Anna, you've been doing more research into the quantum field when it comes to nanotechnology, the fact that it's disappearing sometimes, that under the microscope, it's dependent on 5G waves, 4G waves. So talk to us about how all of this is going to merge and what else you found.
So this is really based on the work of David Nixon, who you've also interviewed, who's shown that these structures are assembling and disassembling. And there is science that states that some of this nanotechnology has what's called quantum cloaking devices, and that these are transistors on a level that is nanoscale, and they create something called a time crystal. What that means, it doesn't require external energy, and it can quantum compute. So it is able to have an enormous amount of ability of computations. And so it is similar to the human brain in that, for example, in the book Nano Brain, the researcher discussed that this can compute in 11 separate dimensions. So we are multidimensional beings. And the way Karen explained this is that this is a multi-level war. So we need to look at it from many different levels. So we can look at it from this aspect of nanotechnology, but then also we have to define, well, what is a divine human being, and acknowledge that it has a spirit. Science has a real problem with that because they want to keep spirituality and science separate. But in this case, Yuval Harari and the globalists are acknowledging that they're waging war against the soul and the spirit, and they specifically say that this is the last generation that will actually have such a thing, and that it's a thing of the past, and that they are endeavoring to create unconscious consumers. So then, looking at it from that context, what is the platform, the technological platform that can change the brain of a human being, meaning the processing of consciousness, which occurs in the microtubules in the brain? I've discussed this at your last show. And then really utilizing what we're seeing. So these are graphene carbon nanotubes with hydrogel that can mimic neurons and glial cells, meaning it can literally create brain-like tissue, programmable matter. And so if we look at that it is a sending and receiving device, it can be programmed externally, but it also can transmit your information. And so therefore, this is a hijacking also of human consciousness. And if you hijack the consciousness and the brain and the mind of a human being, you're affecting the soul, because there is a quantum program of who we are incarnated that says, hey, you are Maria and you're different than Karen and you have a soul purpose. And that's basically you're under attack, and we have to look at it from all of these different levels. And the problem is that a lot of clinicians are unwilling to look at it from the broader context, but then you do not understand what is going on.
Absolutely. Okay, you're absolutely right, Dr. Anna, and this is exactly why we keep exploring. This is why we keep digging. You know, when Karen first came on and showed us these